दोस्तों, आपका मेरे चैनल पे फिर से स्वागत है। पिछली बार हमने BNS बेयर एक्ट का पेयर रीडिंग किया था, जिसमें हमने सेक्शन 1 से लेके सेक्शन 3 यानी कि चैप्टर 1 हमने पूरा कंप्लीट कर लिया था। इस बार हम सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट चैप्टर यानी कि चैप्टर 2 पनिशमेंट पढ़ेंगे, जो 4 से लेके 13 तक है। हम कोशिश करेंगे कि हम इस पूरे को एक वीडियो में कंप्लीट कर सकें, लेकिन अगर वीडियो लंबी होगी तो हम इसे 2 या 3 वीडियोस में अलग अलग कंप्लीट करने की कोशिश करेंगे। तो आइए शुरू करते हैं। चैप्टर 2 ऑफ पनिशमेंट्स, सेक्शन 4 पनिशमेंट्स। द पनिशमेंट टू विच ऑफेंडर्स आर लायबल अंडर द प्रोविजन ऑफ दिस संहिता आर A. Death, B. Imprisonment for life, C. Imprisonment which is of two descriptions, namely 1. Rigorous, that is with hard labor, and 2. Simple. D. Forfeiture of property, E. Fine, and F is community service. Section 5. Commutation of sentence. The appropriate government may, without the consent of the offender, commute any punishment under this Sanhita to any other punishment in accordance with section 474 of BNSS 2023. Explanation. For the purpose of this section, the expression appropriate government means A. In case where the sentence is a sentence of death or is for an offense against any law relating to a matter to which the executive power of the Union extends, the central government, and in case where the sentence, whether of death or not, is for an offense against any law relating to a matter to which the executive power of a state exceeds the government of a state within which the offender is sentenced. Section 6. Fractions of the term of punishment. In calculating fractions of term of punishment, imprisonment for life shall be reckoned as equivalent to imprisonment for 20 years unless otherwise provided. Section 7. Sentence may be, in certain case of imprisonment, wholly or partially rigorous or simple. In every case in which an offender is punishable with imprisonment, which may be of either description, it shall be competent to the court which sentences such offender to direct in the sentence that such imprisonment shall be wholly rigorous or that such imprisonment shall be wholly simple, or that any part of such imprisonment shall be rigorous and the rest simple. Section 8. Amount of fine, liability in default of payment of fine, etc. 1. Where no sum is expressed to which a fine may extend, the amount of fine to which the offender is liable is unlimited, but shall not be excessive. 2. In every case of an offence, A. Punishable with imprisonment as well as fine, in which the offender is sentenced to a fine, whether with or without imprisonment. B. Punishable with imprisonment or fine, or with fine only, in which the offence is sentenced to a fine. It shall be competent to the court which sentences such offender to direct by sentence that, in default of payment of fine, the offender shall suffer imprisonment for a certain term. I am repeating this sentence because it's important. In default of payment of the fine, the offender shall suffer imprisonment for a certain term, in which imprisonment shall be in excess of any other imprisonment to which he may have been sentenced or to which he may be liable under the commutation of a sentence. Now, subsection 3. The term for which the court directs the offender to be imprisoned in default of payment of a fine shall not exceed 1/4 of terms of imprisonment, which is the maximum fixed for the offence, if the offence be punishable with imprisonment as well as fine. The imprisonment with the court imposes in default of payment of a fine or in default of a community service may be of any description to which the offender might have been sentenced for the offence. Subsection 5. If the offence is punishable with fine or community service, the imprisonment which the court imposes in default of payment of the fine or in default of community service shall be simple, and in the term for which the court directs the offender to be imprisoned in default of payment of fine or in default of community service shall not exceed what? A. 2 months when the amount of fine does not exceed 5,000 rupees. 2 months 5k. 4 months shall not exceed 10k. 1 year in any other cases. Subsection 6. The imprisonment which is imposed in default of payment of a fine shall terminate whenever that fine is either paid or levied by the process of law. B. If before the expiration of term of imprisonment fixed in default of payment, such a proportion of the fine be paid or levied that the term of imprisonment suffered in default of payment is not less than proportional to the part of the fine still unpaid, the imprisonment shall terminate. Now, illustration. A is sentenced to a fine of 1,000 rupees and to 4 months imprisonment in default of payment. A 1,000 rupees, and if he doesn't pay this, he have to be in imprisonment for 4 months. Here, if 750 rupees of fine be paid or levied before the expiration of 1 month of the imprisonment, A will be discharged as soon as the first month has expired. That means कि if 1,000 रुपीज़ 4 महीने के लिए है, यानी कि 1 महीने का उसका 250 रुपीज़ हुआ, अगर उसने 750 रुपीज़ पे कर दिया, यानी कि उसने 3 महीने का अपना जो जेल था वो ख़त्म कर लिया है, अब उसे सिर्फ 1 महीने का जेल ही करना पड़ेगा और उसके बाद उसे रिहा कर दिया जाएगा. इसका मतलब यही है. सेकंड है इसका कि इफ़ 750 रुपीज़ पेड, ये तो हो गया. इफ़ 500 रुपीज़ ऑफ द फाइन शैल बी पेड और levied बिफोर द एक्सपायरेशन ऑफ 2 months of imprisonment, A will be discharged as soon as the 2 months are completed. If 500 rupees be paid or levied at the same time of expiration, those 2 months or any later, while the A continues in imprisonment, A will be immediately discharged. अब वही है, अगर 700 उसने पे किया है तो उसे 3 मंथ का जेल बच जाएगा. अगर उसने 500 पे किया यानी कि उसे 2 मंथ का जेल बच जाएगा. इसका पूरे कहने का मतलब वही है. नाउ सेक्शन 7, सबसेक्शन 7. The fine or any part thereof which remains unpaid may be levied at any time within 6 years after the passing of sentence, and if under the sentence the official offender be liable of imprisonment for longer than 6 years, then at any time previous of the expiration of that period, and the death of the offender does not discharge for any liability any property which would after his death be legally liable for his debt. इसका मतलब सिर्फ वही है कि जेल जाना जुर्माना कम करने का नॉर्मल ऑप्शन नहीं होता है. अगर आपको जुर्माना पे करना है तो आप पे भी कीजिए और जेल से बच जाइए. यानी अगर सिर्फ इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि जेल जाना जुर्माना कम करने का सिर्फ एक ऑप्शन है, जुर्माना 6 साल तक कभी भी वसूला जा सकता है। और अगर उसका किसी तरीके से डेथ हो गया, इफ़ डाइड, अगर उसका किसी भी तरीके से डेथ हो गया, तो उस ऑफेंडर की जो भी प्रॉपर्टी होगी वो उससे लिया जाएगा डेट। इसका मतलब वही है। तो आज हम लोग यहीं पे ख़त्म करते हैं। अगले वीडियो में हम लोग सेक्शन 9 से शुरू करेंगे और अगले वीडियो में हम 9 से पूरा चैप्टर 2 कंप्लीट करने की कोशिश करेंगे। सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो। आई होप कि आपको ये बहुत ही आसानी से समझ में आ गया हो। एंड अगर आपको पसंद आया हो तो लाइक कर दें, सब्सक्राइब कर दें और शेयर कर दें। और हाँ, घंटी बजाना मत भूलिएगा ताकि अगली बार आपको मेरी वीडियो जल्दी मिले और आप आसानी से लॉ समझ सकें। थैंक यू सो मच। बाय बाय।